literally a few weeks ago we put out an advertisement to start a protege youth Premier League, and the amount of applications we had, they were fantastic, weren't they, Cal? I mean, you've looked through some of them, and the standard, I mean, what does it must impress you, the standard of the youth these days.
It's come a long way since when I played.
Yeah.
You know, coming from Australia and playing left, right and centre over there, and coming over here and seeing what you've got here, you know, the sport can only grow, Chris.
I mean, we've got players from 11-year-olds. I mean, obviously, you know, on the development tour, they're not allowed until they're 16, but we might allow a couple of youngsters into our Premier League up to around 22, 23-year-olds. So we've got a real eclectic mix, and what I love about this year is we've got the men and the women. So Zoe Jones, young girl, Lauren Kane from Wales as well, the captain of the Welsh youth. They've got so many honours so far in their careers. Can they compete with the men, Kyle? What do you think?
There's no reason they can't, Chris. It's there's no mentality to say that women can't perform as well as men can. There's no strength involved. There's no what would you say, testosterone involved in a match of darts. It's all about your hand-eye coordination. If a woman can get it done, then so be it. Get her in. If she can do it, she can do it.
Well, that's it. Protege, over the last few weeks, we've signed a good few female players that varying in standard, because we want to give them a chance to kind of see how they fare and improve themselves. And I think one of the girls, again, I forget her name, from Cambridgeshire, Jess, I think it is, she uses darts as a self-confidence booster. Jess might not be as good as Zoe Jones standard-wise, but you know, darts, it does bring people together. It gets you out. It gets you, you know, socialising. Fantastic game, isn't it? Was it like that in Australia for you guys?
Well, when I started playing the youth back home, you made friends for life. I still keep in contact with friends that I've made near on 10, 11 years ago. Whenever you travel, you use that to your own advantage. You know, you can go stay with them. You know, you maintain that friendship, and you know when they're in your part of town,
use and abuse them.
Pretty much, you know, put it in that way, and it's usually it's what we do in darts.
It's mutual in it as well, hopefully. Yeah.
It is. You know, you get mates. You approach people in darts that you think you mightn't approach in real life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And you make friends that you probably wouldn't hang around with in real life, and it just goes to show that we all got that common ground, and you know, no one, unless someone's done something, there's no prejudice towards it.
Yeah. We've got a lot of applicants, obviously, for this Premier League. We haven't been to the auditions yet. We've got them coming up. You know, you've got Lover, you've got Ross Twell, some of the younger players, Josh McCarthy. Is there any names that stand out to you with the youngsters that you can think of? I mean, obviously there's the Team Protege youngsters: Jamie Lander, Jack Warner, Billy Horn, Billy the Kid, Barbaran, Lewis, Barbaran.
The names ring a bell. To be honest, Chris, I haven't seen much of the boys in action.
Okay, no, we haven't. That's true.
You can't make statements if you haven't seen anybody play. Practice once with Lewis, and seems like a good kid. You know, get on go with Jamie Landon. You know, it's just a matter of them boys getting together and doing what they can do and showing us that they can get to where they want to get.
Yeah.
And it's all about, you know, showing up on the day.
And this is what this programme's all about. I think those initial auditions will be interesting because we want them to show their character as well. I don't want them to walk in robotic, throw some darts, yeah, I've won this, that and the other, and walk back out again, because I think, you know, it happened in snooker where it became a bit robotic, whereas in the 80s we had loads of characters. We had Jimmy White, Whirlwind, we had Hurricane Higgins, and darts is like that. We've got the characters, and we don't want, you know, you want people to be jumping around the stage, don't you? And taking the mick out of the other players, and to a certain extent, it's not what you do, is it? You're a real gent on the stage. I mean, not in the house, but you are on the stage.
I mean, when you're in front of people, I think your real personality shows. I mean, it's all for TV, but once you get into your rhythm, into your mode of thinking, your real personality shows. And you know, I like having a joke, I like having a laugh, but when you've got to do something serious, your head pretty much is switched on, and it's you all over.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say, the boys, they got the young ones that are coming through now, you've got to learn to talk on TV. It's not just about throwing darts anymore. You've got to learn to talk. You've got to learn to present yourself well on TV. So once you get on TV, you've got to learn to, not get nervous and speak proper.
It's so true that, and that's why we're going to do a media interview session on the Sunday, just to see how these boys and girls fare when they're actually in front and the pressure's on. Because if you don't come across well, they're not, people are not going to want to, are they? And you're not going to get the fans.
Well, think of it when you go to exhibitions, Chris. If you're just throwing your darts and walking back and forth, you're not going to get nowhere.